Hey guys, this is a video on music theory for music production. So let's get started. We're going to cover intervals, scales, keys, and chords, and how to put it all together to create a song. Okay guys, I want to make this as simple for you to digest and understand as you can so you can start making music and start understanding how music is built. We're going to need to know intervals, we're going to need to know chords, we're going to need to know keys, and that's enough for us to make music. So what is a key? A key is built on a scale, a major or minor scale. And what that means is when we're in a key, certain notes and certain chords play different roles. For example, if we're playing only on the white keys, that means we're in the C major scale. This note is C. If you don't know the notes on the piano, this is C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Yeah, and then we'll go back to C. So, so we're using all the white keys because it makes it easy to understand. Now, if I go up onto the black keys, so this will be the C sharp. This will be a D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp. You can also say, if I take the point of view perspective of moving backwards, that this is actually a D flat, E flat, from a G here, G flat, A flat, and a B flat. It means the same thing. A C sharp and a D flat is the same thing. So anyways, going back, we're in a key. Let's say, what does that mean? So if we're in the key of C, that means C is the most stable chord. Okay. Now chords, what are chords? We're gonna go more into it later, but very quickly, it's when we're in a scale and we take three notes and we play them at the same time. Now chords are built on intervals, which we're going to cover later, but I'm just giving you a quick rundown. Chords are built on thirds. So when you take every third note in the scale, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I need another one. 1, 2, 3. There. I've got a chord. I can do it again. 1, 2, 3. And that's a C major 7th chord. Okay. So when we're in a key, it means that the first note in the key, that's our release. That's our home. That's our end goal. Whenever we move away and play a different chord in the key, it's going to create tension, and we're going to want to move back to our home chord. Okay, so we chose C to be our home chord. Now if I play another chord, it's going to create tension. The tension is holding. Now when I go back to the home chord, it's like the end of a sentence, because music is like a language, right? And our scale is our alphabet. So when I have stability, release, and then I have instability, tension. I can't finish it. See, I'm not hitting the home chord. And then when I hit the home chord, there's that resolution. If I take other chords on the scale, same thing. It's being sustained, it's waiting. All these chords, they're building tension. You're waiting for something. You're waiting for the resolution. It's not able to finish, and then it's able to resolve. Okay? So different chords have different functions. When we pick to play in the key of C major, that means the C major, that's the home chord, the resolving chord. Okay? And then we're going to talk about later on the different chords in the scale, what functions they have. But basically, it's tension and resolution. So how do we build a scale? I already showed you how we build chords. Well, let's cover intervals first. The smallest possible interval you can get is the semitone, okay? Or a flat 2, and we'll go over that later. So semitones, see? Smallest interval from one note to the other. And this is called, when I play all the notes, the chromatic scale. Now the next interval will be a whole tone. This. Now that means 2 notes. I'm playing 2 notes from my starting position. 1, 2. So this is our second interval, whole tone. Okay? If I go from here to here, what's that going to be called? From this note to this note, that's going to be called a semitone or half tone. Now, if I move 1, 2 from here to here, this interval, then that's going to be called a whole tone. So we have whole tone, and then if I move on to the next one, whole tone. So let's figure out the formula to create a major scale. If I told you, if I play every single white key from C to C, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see what intervals are created. So all the white notes, we have a major scale. So from here to here, that's a whole tone. From here to here, that's a whole tone because we removed 2 notes. From here to here, see, it's only 1 note movement, so it's a half tone. So we got whole tone, half tone. Let's keep playing. What interval do we have from this key to this key? It's a whole tone, whole tone, half tone. So we can see, to build a major scale, this is our alphabet, this is our formula. We're going to use this formula to find how to play the scale and create chords in any key. It's built on whole, half, whole, half. Okay, let's try to do this from G. Now our formula is whole, so 1, 2, whole, 1, 2, half. Perfect. We already have a half note here. Then it's 3 whole tones. 1 whole tone, 2 whole tone, and then 1, 2. See? From this note to this note will be a whole tone. And then we get back to our starting position. So if we play it, this is what it will look like on the piano. Whole, half, whole, half. Let's try to play it from a black key. I'm going to pick this one. So this is a starting position, and we're going to build using the formula in the key of B flat, the major scale. So whole, half, and then 3 wholes. Whole, and then half. Whole, half, whole, half. Perfect. Okay, now that we know how to create a major scale, we need to look into the names of the different intervals, so we understand when I explain things to you what we're talking about. So we learned about whole tones and half tones, but we can also number each note in the scale. If this is the first note in the C major scale, we can number this one as 1. This is the second note in the scale, so this will be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to our 1, our root note. Now, if we take a note, right, and we move it up a semitone, we can say that we're sharpening the note. If we move it back a semitone, we can say we're making it a flat. So for example, if this is the first note and this is the second note, if I take this note and move it here, I can say 1, 2, and this is a 2 sharp, or this is a 2 flat, or I can say it's a 1 sharp. So we're all referencing these intervals based on the root note. So one more time. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're back here. Okay, perfect. So this is the whole tone, the second interval. From here to here now, this will be called a major third interval. A major third interval consists of what? Two whole tones. So that's a major third, right? Now this one, from here to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's a fourth interval. Now from here to G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a perfect fifth. Then from here to here, that's a sixth. From here to here, that's a seventh. From here to here, that's an octave. Okay, so this is two, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, sixth, major seventh, and octave. Okay, now what would happen if I take the third, so this is the third interval, and I make it a flat? So this will be a minor third. So this is a major third. If I take the third interval and flatten it, it's a minor third. Okay, so now we understand the intervals. If I take this gap anywhere in the scale, you see I'm moving this gap, this interval anywhere, it still remains a third. But sometimes it's a major, sometimes it's a minor. How do we determine it? So let's say we pick this gap, and let's figure out, is this a major or a minor third? Well, we'll read the intervals. Whole, whole. So it's two wholes. That means it's a major third. Now let's try to read what kind of third is it, a major or minor, from this position. Well, we have a whole and then a semitone. See? Whole and then a semitone. So therefore it's a minor third. Or if it's easier for you to memorize, 1, 2, 3. When there's a 3-note gap, it's a minor third. 1, 2, 3, 4. When there's 4-note gap between, then it's a major third. Whatever makes it easy for you to remember. Okay, so let's build chords now. In the key of C. Now, I told you, it's built on thirds. Okay, so we want to take every other note. Okay, and because the first third is a major, we're going to call this a major chord. Now, if I look here, I'm starting on the second note of the scale, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take every other note. Okay, let's read the gap. 1, 2, 3. So it's only 3 notes in between the first third. That means it's a minor third interval, which means it's a minor chord. Okay, every chord consists of the most basic chord consists of 3 intervals, a minor third and a perfect fifth. Why is this a fifth? Because it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the fifth note in the scale and the third note in the scale. Okay, so these are the intervals, a third and a fifth. The fifth is not major or minor. It's a third note that determines if a chord is a major or minor chord. Let's move on to the next note in the scale, the third note. So let's look at our interval. 1, 2, only 3. So that means it's a minor interval. It means it's a minor chord. The next one, F, the fourth note. Okay, this is our third. 1, 2, 3. It's 4. That means it's a major. So we got a major chord. With G, the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our third interval here is a major third. So we have a major G major chord. For A, let's look at our interval. 1, 2, 3. That's a minor. So we have a minor chord. Now, the last one's a little bit different. Let's look at our B. Let's look at our third. 1, 2. It's only 3. So that means it's a minor chord. But this last note is not actually a perfect fifth. It's a flat 5. This would be a perfect fifth. It's a flat, flat. So this is a very dissonant chord, and it's usually not used in music that much. So really, we only have 6 useful chords, and then we end up being back to our C major. Now, let's do a quick little recap. So this is major, minor, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor. This will be a diminished chord or a minor flat 5, and minor flat 5, and then back to our C major. Now, what are the functions? There's really 2 functions, tension and release. The most tense chord we're gonna have is the 5 chord. It really is just sits there and it waits till we go back to the home key. The second most tense chord would be the fourth, the major, fourth major. It's waiting to go back home, and then it resolves. Okay, so in our key, if you noticed, we have only 3 major chords: the 1, the 4, and the 5. The minor chords are the 2, 3, and 6. 2 minor, 3rd minor, and the minor here. Now, if I look at my chord, let's look at our C major scale. We can play it in inversions. Inversion means we change the order of the notes. I can play it like this, but I can also take this G note and play it here. Instead of here, play it here. So this is our inversion. And if you're observant, you're going to notice that this chord looks very similar to another chord. If I move my finger by 1 note, I actually end up getting an A minor. So that means the C major and A minor are actually connected. They share 2 notes together. Okay? And so they play the same function, which is the A minor can serve as the home key. So if I play G major, tension, it doesn't resolve, it's waiting to resolve. I could resolve on the minor. And the same thing happens with the other chords. If I take my G major and I create an inversion, I take this note and I play it here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this note, I play it here. Then you're going to realize if I move the note by 1, I get a minor chord. So this is one of the things you need to remember. Every major has a related minor version of it, and they serve similar functions. Okay, so when you look at it, you realize we only have 3 functions: the root, the home, the dominant chord, which creates the most tension, and then we have the fourth, which is the subdominant. And then we can interchange the function of each chord with its minor version. So everything wants to be resolved back home. Okay, and this is the reason why most songs are only written with 3 to 4 chords, because there's really only 3 types of chords in a key, or 3 types of functions. Okay, so when we play music, we want to stay within the scale. So I showed you how to create a scale and how to find chords within the scale. I told you that major third is 2 whole tones. So we have 1, 2. So that's a whole tone. And again, 1, 2. So that's 2 whole tones, or is simply 4 notes separation. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I want to create a major interval with starting with this note and create a major chord, I need 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now the interval between how many notes is the gap between the root and the fifth? It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So we have, if I want to create a major chord, I need to remember 4 and 7. So let's look. One from this note, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this will be the fifth. There we go. We just create a major chord using the formula 4 and 7. If we want to make this a minor chord, we simply flatten the third note. Now we have a minor chord. If I want this one, this note, so A flat, to make it A flat minor, how would we create it? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to make the major chord first. This is our third interval. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is our major, A flat major. If I want to make it a minor, then I flatten the third, and this is our minor chord. So now we know how to create a major and minor in no matter what note we have, and we know how to create a scale in any key using what the whole tone formula, whole tone, half tone, right? So B. Let's pick this one. Seems challenging. The formula is, remember, whole tone, half tone, 3 whole tones and a half tone. So let's go whole tone, half tone, whole tone, whole tone, half tone, right? And we know that when we play the notes, we label them in order according from our root. So if this is our root, 1, 2, 3, this will be the fourth interval. It's the major third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and back to our octave. So if I ask you, if this is our root key, a D flat, show me the major seventh, this will be the interval. If I ask you to show me the perfect fifth, you should get really good at labeling and knowing the intervals in any key. Now you know how music is built, the language of music. And we know that each key consists of 3 types of functions. The chord serves 3 types of functions. We have the dominant, which is the chord built on the 5, the subdominant, which is built on the 4, and then we have our home key, our roots. Okay? Now, when you create music, and each major and minor are interconnected. So, for example, let's take this D minor chord. Let's transform it into a major chord. Say it's relative major. If I take an inversion, so I play this note over here. Okay, we're here. Now I'm going to take it, move it by 1. Look what chord we get. F major. So D minor and F major are related to each other. So if I have a song and I'm playing and it's like F, and then it's C, I can play instead D minor, C. Do you see? Different chords, but the sound similar. So they serve the same type of function. Now, how do we start creating music knowing all this? We went over all the boring stuff, the technicalities. We stick to our scale. If I start taking chords out from a different scale, it might not fit together, it might not sound musical. So see, it's kind of going nowhere. So we want to, for now, later on we'll learn how to borrow chords from other scales. For now, we want to stick to one scale. And you can pick any chord you want. And now this is where the creativity plays in. Play any chord. And you're going to use your intuition and your ear. Okay? You understand how chords are created within the key. You pick and play just the chords from that key. There's 3 major, 3 minor. And so we're going to talk about creating a melody too, and a bass line. Okay? So I'm going to click play here and record a little chord progression. I'm going to start maybe with A minor, G, F, C. Again. Whoops. It's okay. So we just made up something. I recorded onto my computer. Now to create a melody over it, it's very simple. You simply doodle around and play any of the note in the scale. So I'm gonna start playing, and you just make stuff up. Makes sense? So it's very easy once you know how to find the notes in the key, how to make chords. Okay, as long as you play the notes from the scale and you make sure you're playing only the chords from the scale, they're always going to fit together and create harmony, be harmonious. Now, I will try to play so you understand why it works together. I'm going to try to play notes, a melody from using a different scale, and you're going to see it's not going to fit. But then if I play on the scale, now, just because you're playing all the notes from the scale does not mean that they're always going to create harmony, because there's still intervals that are creating tension. Okay, so certain notes, just like the chords, we have chords that create tension, and then and certain chords that are released, the relationship between chords, right? So the same thing, there's notes that are going to create tension and clash, and then resolve. Tension, 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 and then it's going to resolve. See? This note resolves the melody. So just pay attention to which notes create tension, and then you want to resolve those notes. And that's the basic principle of creating tension and release with chords and with melody. Now, let's create, for example, a bass line. So there's different parts to our song. We have our chords, okay? So our bass line, we want to follow the first note of a chord. So if we have an A minor, right, then the bass should be playing just this chord note, the first note in the chord. If we have G, then the bass should just be playing the first note of the chord, okay? And for the melody, we're free to play any note we want in the chord. So let me create another chord progression, and we're going to create a bass line, chords, bass line, and a melody. So, for example, I'm going to make it very simple. It'll be 4, oh, it'll be 4, 5, 6, 1, 4, 5, 6, 1. All right, now let's create a bass line where we're just gonna follow the chords. So, oh, what did I say the chord progression? 4, 5, 6, 1. All right. So 4. Okay, so we created a bass line. Now let's create a melody. The melody does not need to follow the chords, but if you are very confused how to make a simple melody fit and follow your chords, simply pick any note of the chord. So if the F chord is being played, simply pick one of the notes and follow the chords. For example, let's play. See how simple it is? I'm following. Okay, so there I was playing the third note of each chord. Okay, let's try playing the fifth note of each chord. See how that goes. Okay. Now I'll play the third. So it's a very easy way to create a melody. Simply pick a note from the chords and follow it, okay? Then we can start to mix in notes outside of the chord. And these notes are going to be the tension notes. So again, going back to the principle of tension and release, if a chord is being played and I play one of the notes from the chord, these are the home notes, and the other notes are the tension notes, and they're going to want to go back to the notes of the chord. So I'm here, I'm going to play a note outside the chord, and then it's going to want to go back to a note in the chord. So I'm just going to record one chord so you can hear how that happens. So I'm going to record F major. I'm just going to keep playing. Okay, and now let me show you the effect of different notes over one chord. So this is our roots. See? Stability. So I was playing just the notes from the chord. Now I'm going to play other notes. Creating tension, 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 back to being resolved. Now I'm going to mix between the two. Stable, tension, stability. When you're on a stable note, you can hold it. When you're in an unstable note, you don't want to hold it for too long because it's not going to be melodious. So let's pick a note and play around it. Okay, so to be really stable, we'll play the notes from the chord, and then if we play all the other outside notes of the chord, it'll create tension. Now obviously, you don't need to know this consciously, but it helps to understand creating a melody. And now let's go back to our song. Perfect. So we covered a good chunk of the music theory that you need to know. The next thing that you need to understand is playing a song in a specific time or tempo. Okay, so when you have a music program, over here on the left, you're gonna have the tempo. Okay, so rhythm is the second aspect of music. Okay, and that's done by the drums. Okay, so we're not really covering rhythm today, but it's very simple. Try to play in time in a consistent rhythm, right? Like a metronome. If I create a metronome, tick tock, tick tock, you want to play in time, play in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's too difficult, maybe I'm having trouble too. Boom, boom, boom. Now, if you're playing things live, yeah, you're gonna need lots of practice to practice in time. But when you're producing it inside a computer program, it's already built in. Our grids, you see, we have grids built in. So just like we have tension, our home key, and then our release, the same concept applies with rhythm, where we can play on the beat or we can play off the beat. On the beat creates a strong accent, off the beat, a weaker accent. Okay, so this is a beat. This is a beat. So when you're building chords, it's good to build things on the beat. 1, 2. This will be off the beat if I center it. Okay? And just like we have scales on the piano, like this formula, the same thing with the rhythm. Our rhythm can be built on 4. Let's see. So this is one beat, and I'm able to split it up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal notes to subdivide it. I can also split it in a way where I have 4 notes in one beat. Or I can make it 1 note in one beat. But it's always a subdivision basically of 2s and 4s. I can choose a different, for example, scale or different timing where it's built on 3s instead of 2s. Our whole rhythm is built on 3s. So in most common music, usually just works on rhythms built on 2 or 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so make sure you're using rhythms built on 2s, 4, on 8s, on 16ths. Okay, when you click on your grid here, you're gonna have an option, right? And we're gonna pick 1, 4, 16, 32, 1, 2. If you want to switch it to a different time, it'll be triple grid. Triple grid. And all of a sudden now our beats subdivided into 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So I hope that was useful to you and you got the basic understanding of music theory. It could be overwhelming at first. And all you need to remember is now that you have this, for example, go look and study songs. Learn songs by ear. Learn the chords, and see what chords are they using. Let me pick a song, for example, and we can study what chords there are. But I would say look at different songs, your favorite songs, and look at the chords that they use and see if they're in key. I'm going to show you a little thing called here circle of force. I'm looking for the image. Give me a second. Okay, so here, this is our circle of force. Okay, and what the circle of force is, it tells you what are the major and minor keys in each chord. Okay, so for example, we know that we went over the C major scale, and we said that C is the major, F, and then G. So if we're here and we decide to pick and we want to know what are all the chords in that key, so I pick a note, C, and I look to the left and to the right of it, and that will tell me all the major chords in that key. And if I look underneath of them, underneath the neighbors of C, I'll find all the minor chords over there. Okay, now let's pick another key. Let's say I want to make a song in B flat, or let's say I'm studying a song, and I'm looking at the chords. I'm trying to realize what key is it in, and we'll take an example. But first, B flat. Okay, so I have E flat and F major. That means I can use these major chords with B, and they're going to fit in the B major scale. And underneath of it, I have the C minor, G minor, and D minor. Okay, so do the same thing with different keys. Let's pick a song and study it. And we're going to figure out what chords. So let's look at letter B. Okay, so we have C, G, and A minor, F major. Okay, let's look. So we have the C. Okay, we have a G. So G. Then we have an A minor. And then we have an F. All these notes, you see, are in the key of C major. So that means this song is written in the key of C. So that's what you should just be doing. Check songs, figure out yourself what key they're built on. You can use a circle of force to do that. Learn them by ear. Try to hear songs and see if you can figure out the chords to it, and then try to figure out the melody to it. Okay? And then you'll see for yourself that most of these songs use the method I showed you, the chord scale method. And be conscious when you're learning a melody for a certain song. Understand the interval relationship between different notes. So here I'm playing, based on this note, I'm playing a major third and a perfect fourth. And that's the basics to music theory. Hopefully that was useful. I know it's a long video. I hope it helped you understand music theory and helps you get started on your musical journey. Let me know if this was helpful to you.